It's time. This is going to be my first video post getting the box of makeup from Jo. Jo Withrow. For information for you all watching the video, will be down below in the description box. I'll also put it as a little card thing up here. I got beautiful makeup from Jo, and I'm going to play with some today. Got some things like Kaleidos Futurism 3 Astro Pink palette, and the inside of this palette is so beautiful. For reference camera, you can probably see a little bit on the packaging itself. A little bit of the oils from this blue has seeped into the actual cardboard. It hasn't seemed to affect the actual swatching capabilities of the shade. I've swatched it. I haven't actually used it yet, but like, oh. So that's the eyeshadow palette I'm going to play with today. I also have some other fun products, like I've got the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect Foundation and Concealer, Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm. I've got some fun motor brushes to try out. So I got these really pretty brushes. The Juno & Co microfiber sponge that I've heard good things about. I want to try this. I've got some more things that I'll pull out and show and talk about when we actually start getting into it. I also got a really cool fun new mirror from Jo too. It's neon green and it's got some fun little pattern on it. First, going to start off, one item that I did receive that I am really interested in seeing what this works like. So this is a little sample of the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. So I'm going to do a couple little there. I don't want to waste this. Oh, smells nice though. So I'm just gonna bap it on most of the areas that I want this to majorly be, which is like in my nose area, my pori T-zone. This feels really nice and smoothing on the skin so far. Oh my lord, that wind! Weather's not happy here. This is a bit of a close-up now that I've got the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer on my face. You can see it's doing anything. I'm going to go in. This is a setting powder I already owned. I do have a setting powder from Jo that I want to try out. That's the Laura Mercier translucent. But I just want to use this first because I know at least how this one works, and I know this one doesn't give me a cast on the face. So I'm just going in with the StarGem Cosmetics Skin Deep setting powder, and I'm just going to set my base. And then after I've set the base, I'll be going in and applying foundation. I've also done a big regretty with my setting powder, and I've got a metric fuck ton of it in the lid right now, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what I'm going to do. Getting all of that back in the actual either container or at least inside of the little well, and not have, you know, powdery mess everywhere. That's what I'm talking about, all the powder in the lid. I have a struggle because Jo gave me a brush to try out. This is from Hip Dot. It's dense, but I also got the Juno & Co sponge because I usually prefer doing my foundation with a brush over a sponge, but equally I've never used a microfiber sponge before. Quite dense, surprisingly dense. What I usually do, instead of soaking a sponge, I get my setting spray and I actually spray the setting spray onto the sponge. And I almost like squidge the setting sponge a bit so like it soaks in. Now I'm going to go in with this, which is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 in the shade 01A Creamy Nude. Looks like it might be a bit dark for me, but this is what the website said would match. I'll do 2 pumps for now. That's 2 pumps worth. I know from normal I usually prefer the flat side of a sponge, so I'm just going to pick up that and start bapping. Yeah, this definitely isn't my shade. It is a little bit dark, but we can make that work. I also want to see, because this is supposed to be a concealer too, so I'm gonna take it up a little bit higher than I normally do with my foundations. This Juno & Co sponge has done a pretty nice application job. Pick up a little bit more, go on the forehead. Not sure how much I like this sponge because, like I said, it is quite firm. Even when I'm using it on my face, there's not a lot of give in it. It is very much a solid sponge. Get a little bit more product so I can pounce it in around my nose. I wanted to do the rest with this brush. I've never used this brush before. I'm just going to grab 2 more squirties and I'm going to go bap, 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 bap. I don't know how I feel about this brush because it's essentially like a giant stippling brush. I don't feel like you could easily smear with this. It's a very strange brush, that's for sure. Seems to be soaking up product too, compared to the sponge. And I can get it to lay, but like you have to almost be careful with how you use this brush, because it almost wants to then disrupt the way that it's laid down the product if you go too hard to like blend everything out nicely. And just, I mean, this could be good for doing this. Just like smearing the slightest bit on the neck to at least get a partial colour match. My God, that wind needs to feck off. I know, babe. I definitely prefer, out of the two, the Juno & Co sponge. I'm just gonna grab the smallest little bit more and put it on the back of my hand, maybe like half a pump. And I'm just gonna go back over the side with the brush and just get the same amount of coverage, because I can see that the brush side actually, funnily enough, has less coverage. I am impressed though at how nicely it is covering my discoloration, considering I didn't color correct, nor did I use anything else other than this. The actual finish is really pretty though. I'm quite happy with how this foundation looks though. So you can see close up of the skin. I haven't even set it at all yet. Like I said, I have this Laura Mercier translucent setting powder that I want to try, but first I know I have a Rare Beauty blush in here that I would like to sample. This is the Rare Beauty blush sample that I got. This is in the shade Grace. I'm gonna go one dot right there, one dot right there, and that will be me blush. And I'm going to use the same sponge that I applied my foundation with. I'm just going to go with a little bit of the side that it's not as dirty, so it will give the blush, I'm hoping, a bit more of a blend into the actual skin. It does look pretty. At least it's not disrupting the foundation like my Mitchell ones did, comparatively. But this is still looking very pretty. I'm still not the most sure of how to use blush products like this. Because like I said, the only other one that I've used that's similar to this is Mitchell's, made by Mitchell's blushes. I should say the blushes. That is the Rare Beauty blush. As you can see when I did my Made by Mitchell video, you can see it is nowhere near as disruptive to the base itself, even though I haven't actually set this. So now I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and this is a mini, but I'm going to use this, set my base. We're gonna start playing with some more makeup. I'm gonna go whoop. Barely anything came out. What the heck? So, I picked up a little bit on my brush, and I'm just gonna start bapping it on. Oh wait, what the fuck? Maybe not. So, you probably can't see it on camera, nor can you see it on the live stream. But this is almost pulling gold on my face. Like, it's a setting powder, but it's almost pulling gold. That shine all through there is setting powder. So I mean, I'll probably also use this to just now set in the same area, but the rest of my face I'm for sure going to be using my StarGem powder. Because I personally don't actually like having a lot of shine in my setting powders. And these setting powders from StarGem are great. So I'm just going to go back in with the shade Moonstone in the Skin Deep setting powders. This is just their super pale, light, translucent. I'm going to now go in and just put a little bit of highlighter on because I love highlighter. I screwed this on tight because I know these can dry out. So I've got a ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in the shade Flexitarian. I'm just going to take my normal highlighter brush. Wow, beautiful. Now I'm going to take a little bit of it, put it right in this point here. I'll also get the slightest little bit on the tip of the brush and wiggle it down the center of my nose. A little bit more on the tip of the nose. I'm going to put a little bit on my chin as well. I'm going to apply the smallest little bit by my lips too. Because I love how highlighter looks on my upper lip area. I'm just gonna close this up for now because I'll probably use this as my brow highlight too in a bit. I'm going to reach into this beautiful palette, the Kaleidos Futurism 3 Astro Pink, and I'm going to do a beautiful eye look. Use these neutrals and do a neutral eye look and pack the blue on the lid. So I'm going to go in with this kind of fluffier motor brush. It's called the Crease, which means makes sense. This is a double-sided brush, but I'm going to use this bigger, fluffier side. I'm first going to go in with this really lighter, soft brown. Just gonna pack that all over the brush, and I'm gonna first sweep it through the crease area, just to deepen that up. Just gonna quickly go in with this shader brush from Moda. I'm going to go in with the slightly darker brown now. Just that. Now that I've done that, what I'm gonna do, well, I first want to see how it will apply. The closest Moda brush I have to what I wanted to use is called the Smoky Eye brush. It's a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna try it, and if I don't like it, I'm going to go back in with my actual Morphe. But I'm going to use this brush to pick up the blue, and I'm going to lay that on the lid area. Oh, wow. Okay, so this brush might not have any problems whatsoever picking up this Kaleidos shade. I'm going to try and be as neat as possible with my application because I'm trying to achieve like a cut crease-like effect, but without actually doing the cut crease technique. Sorry camera for the brow hairs up here, but just ignore them. Just look at the shiny. Wow. I'm honestly just shocked at how nicely this lays down on top of Matt's, considering I literally did not place anything else sticky to adhere it to the eye, and this is a blue performing on top of just neutral browns. And I mean, like, wow. Now I'm going to go with this smudger brush that is on the other side of the fluffy crease brush that I was using, and I'm going to use the smudger, and I'm going to grab the two browns, probably grab a bit of both, more of the lighter shade than the darker, and I'm just gonna smoke along the lower lash line to meet up with the outer lash line to the inner corner highlighter area that I've placed that blue. So I even quite like this brush for this application purposes. I'm surprised at how much I'm liking these Moda brushes. It's funny how grey toned these browns look, but when actually applied to the eye, they almost pull red. I think that is the actual eye makeup pretty much done. I'm going in with this silver shade on one of the Moda brushes, and I'm just putting that as my brow highlight. My eyeballs are so shiny on camera right now. Holy crap. I want that to be my actual lashes. I'm going to apply them. I'm not really going to put on mascara because you don't really need mascara for these.
Is it heavy?
Oh, fucking A, it is. I mean, this is definitely fantasy for sure. With a proper black wing, these will look stunning, and obviously being trimmed to actually fit my eyeball because I literally just blapped them on. Considering they're novelty lashes, they do actually sit quite nicely on the eye. I'm going to use this. This is a Flesh liquid lipstick. It's not liquid, I'm a fuckhead. This is a bullet lipstick.
Oh my god.
Oh, hopefully the camera can see it. But this lipstick does a weird thing on the edges of my lips. This almost has a lip gloss-like formula, even though it's a bullet lipstick. I'm not even sure of this formula at all.
This one?
It does weird crumbling around the lip, even though it's very moisturizing like a lip balm. It's got like lip balm texture, but has weird crumbling like it's an ultra matte lipstick. It is the strangest thing. I'm gonna put my Fenty Gloss Bomb over. I want a brush for this because I fuck getting this dirty. Like, it looks too pretty in the tube. I'm going to use a flat brush like this, put a pile of it on the back of my hand, and dunk into that. Funnily enough, the Fenty has kind of helped the issue that the lipstick was having. The smell of the lip glosses is so nice. There we go. This is the end result of what I did using the stuff that I got from Jo Withrow. I'll do a quick recap of what's actually on my face. So I first started with the Toucher, the Silk Canvas liquid version. This is a primer. I powdered that. I tried out the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I applied that using the Juno & Co sponge as well as a brush that I'm used to. I tried using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder right through here, but it pulls a bit gold on me, so I decided to just use my typical StarGem Cosmetics Skin Deep setting powder in the shade Moonstone. I used the highlighter from Colourpop in the shade Flexitarian. That's currently all over my cheeks. I've also got the blush shade Grace from Rare Beauty. I've got the Kaleidos Makeup Futurism 3 Astro Pink eyeshadow palette on the lids. I've got these fun blue lashes on. I have a Flesh Beauty lipstick. This is in the shade Chew. And then on top of that, I put a Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Diamond Milk. So my face is looking really shiny at the moment, looking all sorts of fun. This is definitely a different look for me. I usually go much more bright in terms of all over the lid, but I do like this little pop of blue. It's almost like a faux cut crease, especially with these blue lashes. It's just like a fun little moment. This is my look. This is what I've done. This is all completed. Oh, I've got to use some motor brushes too. So this is the whole look completed. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well to make sure you are notified whenever I go live as well as post videos. I love these lashes, just look at them. Thank you very much for watching. See you all later. Love to you from Australia. Bye.